Hello, welcome to the Perpetual Projects YouTube channel. My wife and I started this channel to document and share some of the crazy projects we get up to. Currently working on some much needed improvements around the house. We're also building a Frankenstein Jeep, fixing a broken Scion TC, and going to get started converting a carport into a workshop. Plus, who knows what else. Hey everyone, got the motor out of the Magnum, figure out what's wrong with it, and took it down to the machine shop. And so as you can see, the motor is not in there. A couple things that I learned during this process is all-wheel drive is kind of a pain in the butt. The front differential is actually attached to the oil pan, so we ended up having to take the front diff out of it as well. But we got to get this all cleaned up. I did get, so it had Chrysler 300 wheels on it when I got it, and I had a set of 20-inch wheels. They're drag wheels off my 2015 Challenger, so we're gonna go ahead and put those on it. I got the front ones set on there, the rear ones are in the shop. Took the front bumper off so I could get the headlights off because one of them is broken, and I'm either gonna fix it or I'm gonna replace it. I haven't decided yet. They're both in pretty bad shape, so I might just replace both of them. But there's the drag wheel on this side. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Well, I'm gonna go inside the shop here and I'll meet you guys there and we'll take a look at what we found in this motor. Alright guys, we're in the shop now. So there's my Magnum motor. It's all over the ground. Obviously all this stuff needs to be extensively cleaned. There's the new rings. So we can put it all back together. There's the intake, there's the crank, there's a crank for another project that we're going to talk about a little later on. But here's what we found. Get a good view of this here. That is the number 7 piston out of the Magnum. I bought this car in this condition. When I got it, the head was off. And actually, as I went through the head, or went through the parts that I got with the car, the head was replaced. I didn't even have the head that dropped the seat. So when I took the block down to the machine shop, I was gonna hone it and put it back together, but that number 7 cylinder had a pretty good groove in it, and I just didn't feel like it was gonna hold a ring. So it's at the machine shop getting fixed. Probably going to sleeve one cylinder just to get that one back to standard. That's the most inexpensive option to get this back on the road, and this is not going to be a race car. It's just going to be my daily driver actually. So we're gonna bore that cylinder, put a sleeve in it, and then I asked him to cut the valve seats out, and he's a friend of mine, and he moaned and whined a little bit. So actually Monday I'm gonna go down there and he's gonna show me how, and I'm gonna cut all the seats out of the heads so that we can put all new seats in it so this doesn't happen again. But we broke 3 of the MDS solenoids, so at $105 a piece from the dealership. I think just gonna put a tuner on it and get rid of MDS altogether. I do have plans for mild upgrades to this car. I don't know how far I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. The limiting factor on this is the all-wheel drive. The transfer case is not super strong, so you can't make a 1,000 horsepower race car out of it, but we could make it a little healthier. I don't know. At this point, I have a couple of weeks to get it running and drive it back to Alabama. So right now we're just putting it back stock, going to put a tuner on it so we can get rid of the MDS system, and then we'll just have to see where the future goes. Alright guys, we got to pull the valve seats out. It didn't work out to go to the machine shop and use the cutter, so he told me if I want them changed to get them out. So plan is, which I've already done this on one head and it worked out, so I'll show you what I did. I don't I'm not recommending this for anybody. Do this at your own risk. I managed to get one done, didn't screw anything up. I'm trying to do another one, but there's a chance you could screw stuff up doing this. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld a bead on the edges of the seat here, because heads are aluminum, so regular MIG welding won't stick to it. And I'm gonna weld a bead on both sides and let it build up and then let it cool down. That should do two things. It should shrink the seat a little bit, and then it should also, it gives me something to grab a hold of with my pilot bearing puller here. And then once I let that cool completely down, I grab a hold of those little beads and pull the seat right out. Like I said, I've already done one, it worked out pretty good. We're gonna try it on the second one now, and I'll record it and we'll see if it goes as well on video as it did not. Alright guys, there you go. No exhaust, no intake seats left. No exhaust seats left. Took us about 30 minutes. I think that's pretty good. Alright guys, I just wanted to let you know that something I learned along the way, those MDS plugs that I put in there will not work with the MDS lifters. They don't block the oil flow, and when I started this, it was only running on 3 of the 8 cylinders, and I fought it for a long time. So just be aware that you can't do what I'm showing that I did. I ended up fixing it in the car after it was all put back together. The MDS system doesn't work anyway, or isn't turned on in the computer anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they're in there. I just bought cheap ones to fill the holes. Here's a picture of the engine all assembled and ready to put in the car. One other thing that I didn't realize is I got 2 bad fuel injectors, and that is why it was running on 3 instead of 4 when the MDS plugs were in there with the MDS lifters. I also lost all the rest of the footage after this clip, so the next one is going to be a huge jump clip to back in Alabama. Hello everyone. So this is a test. I'm going to start recording on my phone. I've been editing stuff that I shot in Colorado on that little action camera I have, and it's absolutely terrible. I lost so much footage from Colorado, including the rest of the install on this Magnum video and the startup, and I mean pretty much everything. So I'm going to just I'm going to recreate the first start, kinda. This is gonna be a cold start. I don't know, but it's been about a month, I guess. We've been back in Alabama for about 2 weeks, and I'm working on this video today, and I realized that I don't have any footage of it actually completely installed or running. I have one picture of it before I put it in. I don't have the footage of finish assembling or anything like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do a kind of walk around and open the hood here and take a look at how it looks now, and tell you guys it did make it all the way back to Alabama. I had absolutely no problem. The transmission has a little bit of a shudder. I got a few ideas to try to fix that. Hopefully I don't have to pull it out and rebuild it. If I do, I will. But yeah, so it made it all the way back with no problems. But let me flip this camera around and we will take a look at the Magnum. Alright, so it turns out you can't actually just flip the camera around. You have to shut it off and start it back up. But here it is. It's kind of clean. I still need to get all this sticker residue from the molding on the side off, and it needs to be probably sanded and polished. It's still got a box in it of some of the stuff that we brought with us, but let me open the door here and we'll pop the hood if I can find it. Okay. All right. Now we know how to open the hood. Oh, there it is. It is not clean. I really wanted to do a lot more as I was installing this, but I just ran out of time. Getting COVID and having 2 weeks off really didn't help matters at all. I mean, I could work on stuff for 2 weeks, but I wasn't supposed to leave the house, so I couldn't go get parts, I couldn't do anything, so I was kind of stalled. I did work on another project for the majority of that time, but I didn't have time or the ability to clean this there, because so the water at that house is well water, and it's so hard you can't wash anything with it because it just leaves a white residue on everything. So that being said, I didn't get to pressure wash the engine compartment, and I haven't done anything with this since we've been here because it has been absolutely frigid since we've been back in Alabama. So I'll do some cleaning on this, and I don't know, maybe put it in some future videos if it's interesting. I am gonna do a video on, so I bought that headlight at a junkyard. You can see that it's pretty scratched up, but I didn't want to spend a bunch of money because I don't know where I'm going with this project. This is one of the original headlights off of this car, and if you look back in the beginning of this video, you'll see just how bad a shape those were in, and I was able to get it looking like that. I didn't intend to do that, but when I bought this one from the junkyard, I didn't realize that it was black, so I had to take that one apart and make the inside of it black as well. So, like I said, I have the old driver's side headlight that's all decayed, the housing's all busted on it, and I will do a video on how I did that. But let's see how it starts. Like I said, it was 15 degrees last night, and I haven't started this yet. I haven't started this in probably close to a week, so let's see how it does.
Goes to this hunter's moon.
And fired right up. Get out and see how it sounds. There it is. It's got completely stock exhaust, so this is not impressive at all. But you can hear it. I was going to take the trailer hitch off, but the bolts for it are above the mufflers, and I just don't see being able to get this exhaust down and put it back up without problems. But anyway, so yeah, there's Project Magnum for now. It's back in Alabama. It runs and drives. As soon as I get this thing sold, this one's going to get plates. It's already got insurance, and once it gets plates, this will be what I drive every day. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check back for updates on this car. I'm sure I will be doing stuff to it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for future projects and like this video. It sure helps us out.